everyone, and welcome back to Three Dads and a Console. Not everyone can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about. So we're here to talk to you about the upcoming news. And the show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs needed. We have a very special show for you. But first, I'm Wabba Plays, and I want to introduce Court. Hello, Court.
Hey, so Pez, remember when I was saying in his chat before about his mic?
Oh,
You're
man.
hearing it now?
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
Yeah,
gracious.
that's what you get. You want some
Don't
crispy...
stop. Turn yourself down.
No. Hey, like Eminem, turn me up in your headphones, you know?
No, I don't know what it is. What did you say? I know this is live, but it doesn't matter. What did you say that you did to your mic?
What did I said? Turn the gain up, baby.
God, turn it down.
Yeah, don't. It's
this thing's up to 11. Only boomers understand that.
I noticed it when you were streaming earlier, and I kept putting it in the chat, and I know Pez noticed me saying it, and I was just like, man, your mic is just like piercing me. I had to turn the volume down.
Yeah, well, you get what you ask for now. You get, all of it.
We're good now. Oh, and hey, Pez is here. What's up?
Pez is also here. Hello, Pez with a good mic, apparently.
Hey guys, I actually worked on my mic today, so I hope it sounds good.
Who's Mike?
Mike Jones.
818-330. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow.
And for our live viewers, I will be going to see Batman, and we'll give my review of Batman. Not this week, next week. Not this week's, not next show.
I might take Friday off to go see it too.
Okay, so that's the good point. So the only person that won't have seen it is Pez.
Oh, we can shame him. Oh, wait,
Sure.
you're thinking something else?
No.
Oh, we were gonna shame him together?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, because I wanted to know if we were all going to go see it, because I got tickets on day one. Matt from Xbox A with me, he's got tickets. Wabba's got tickets. So then on that Wednesday show, we can all go see it. Pez will just go see it on the weekend. He's just going to go see it now because he wants to be like, vengeance.
Listen, if it's anything like how I want to love Horizon Zero Dawn, but I don't, and I'm so upset by it, I will need to go see the Batman before our show on, I believe it's the 9th.
So, okay. Maybe it's just you don't like, because I understand you do like Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe it's like you don't like PlayStation first party games.
I know. Why'd you buy a PS5?
Like what is this?
I'm glad I have this machine. I just hate everything that's made for it.
No, I don't think it's that I don't like PlayStation first party games. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I have to play God of War. I'm pretty sure I will like God of War, but to be fair,
you haven't played God of War?
No, it's in my backlog.
Oh my god!
What? It's in my backlog. There's nothing I can do about that.
Well, spoiler
except play
it. The game we might all play next might be Uncharted 4 for the PS5. And Pez is notoriously not a big Naughty Dog fan. I'm not saying he doesn't like them, just not a fan. So hopefully,
I can tell you what I didn't like, and that was The Last of Us.
I'm almost wondering if Wabba, you and I play Uncharted, and he just plays Lost Legacy, because I think Lost Legacy is shorter, and it might be less of a. He might like it more because it's got a little bit of open world in it.
Although it's possible. See, when I jumped into Uncharted 1 on the PS4 collection, and I've heard Uncharted 1 has not aged well, but it turned me off enough that I was like, I don't know if I want to go through this. So
just go play Pitfall. It's the same game.
No, that's an Xbox property now. If I would to say if you're going to do the collection, I would honestly say only play 3. Yes. Because I don't even think 2 is aged well.
Really?
It hasn't. It hasn't.
I
the
disagree,
train scene,
but 3 is my favorite.
No, that's fine. The train scene is great, but I still think the combat and a little bit of is not as good. Like I still to this day hate the way you throw grenades, but that's just me.
1 didn't age well. 2 I think 2 makes 3 better.
2. So at the time, I remember when I first played all of them. 2 was my favorite, even though everybody loved 3. 2, I just like the set pieces. I really like the Himalayas. I really like the train, the whole train. Especially when you're playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm like, they literally do an homage to Uncharted 2 in that game. When he does the train in Jedi Fallen Order, that's an homage to Uncharted. Anyways.
Well, it's the same universe.
How about this? I want on PSVR 2 an Uncharted experience. That's what I want.
Court, maybe you'll get one, and that leads us into one of our big topics of the day: PSVR 2,
Two.
the streets.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I know there's a lot of
PSVR to the streets.
Dude, the Venn diagram between video game fans and Step Up 2 fans, it's like a crossover
Perfect circle.
right in the middle. Perfect.
It's a perfect circle.
A flat circle. So
I don't think it's so they've let us see what the design is. It looks pretty darn good, guys.
It looks beautiful.
It does. So they you'll notice the PRV has a similar shape to the PSVR 2 Sense controllers taking over. So the new controllers look very good.
they remind
Which
me
is-
of Oculus ones.
Well, yes, but I think that gives you more control. But I
Right.
also like because I didn't like the wands before. I felt I just didn't like them. This makes me feels more secure that I'm not going to hit my TV. Does that make any sense?
The wands were very air traffic controller like, and that's what I didn't like about them. It was like waving around glow sticks, and I didn't like it. But these look. I will give I'm giving Sony a credit this generation. The black and white is really like a fantastic motif, and they're like I'm wearing my Pulse 3Ds right now, and I love this headset. They're killing it.
Speaking of Pulse 3Ds, they're fit to fit with these. So to put your Pulse 3Ds, it literally says that the VR headset, since it's meant to have constant human contact, similar to the rounded edges of the DualSense controller and the Pulse 3D headset. So it is compatible. It's funny that these, what are they calling them? And the design is inspired, emphasis on roundness. So yes, but these are the same ones that we saw originally on we thought was going to be for the VR, the first PlayStation VR. This is what the controllers everybody thought they were going to look like, and then they ended up not. Now, here is I have a gripe. I'm not going to lie. It's not wireless.
Yeah, yeah, that's rough.
It's only one cord.
But now it's one cord instead of like 6.
Fair enough.
The setup of the PSVR is very cumbersome, and I trust me, I very much enjoy it. But you have to plug it into a little box that then you have to plug a bunch of cords in, and it's like, I don't know, it's not like super crazy, but like it's definitely like not great. But the fact that it's one cord is like good. And do you even need a camera for this now?
So no, we don't. So there are plenty of new exciting.
W.
I'm going to read this right from the PlayStation blog. There are plenty of exciting new features to look forward to in the PSVR 2 system, including stunning visual 4K HDR and state-of-the-art graphics. So for Wabba, he can actually finally see 4K graphics out of his PS5, which is amazing because his monitor doesn't show it, but this little headset will. Enhanced tracking, such as inside-out camera tracking, new PlayStation VR 2 Sense technology featuring such a headset feedback. So there you go, Wabba. The enhanced tracking system will make it so you don't need the camera. An intuitive PSVR 2 Sense controller that creates an incredibly deep feeling of immersion. Additionally, the PSVR 2 system comes in simple, single cord setup and can connect to your games immediately. So they won't have to go through the whole rigmarole, but because the controllers don't need the camera, because that was, I think, one of the biggest issues before, those old Orb controllers.
Didn't track well.
They didn't track well at all, and they needed the camera.
So also too, like when I was setting it up, like honestly, why I didn't play it as much. One, the setup is a pain, but two, the camera. I used to have it onto my TV upstairs. Now it's like mounted on the wall, so I don't even know how I would do it. And like you'd be playing it, it'd be cool, and then it's like up out of range, and it would just turn like to a black screen, or it's like something's not registering. The fact that this doesn't need a camera,
Wabba's hyped.
So I'm getting more hyped the more we talk about it, because now I can play it right effing here. I could play it here. I could stream it. I couldn't stream like it's good. I played for certain experiences, but like the long longevity, it gets hurt because it's so like I don't know how it would set it up at this desk, or like God forbid here and it tracks like something weird. So now it's like
in Night
I
City,
could sit here on my desk. I could enjoy. And I could play these games. And I feel like I couldn't do that. I'd always be standing or mindful of the dog or the cat who would like jump at my feet. Now I got a kid, and she's she's on the offense.
You be punting.
For me, I would play a lot of the old games because like all those games that came to PlayStation Plus that I never got to play, like Batman and that mouse game. I have them all, but I've never had a VR system. But they're in my library. I've never got to play them.
I love that you can use those games with this as well because that library is so good. mark my words, Carnival Games VR is very good, if not my favorite VR game. It is so fun. One, I'm sure, gave me vertigo because it was like climbing up a wall. I got nauseous, but that's, I get nauseous by anything. But there's a game where you have like this like little fake gun and you're at the shooting range, but you can dual wield. And I was like competing for the top spot in it. I mean, me and my, how many, I don't know how big the player base was, but it's just stuff like that. You could have people over, could show
So,
VR to Nana. It's just, I don't know, it's fun.
so my question to you guys are, Pez, would you buy it?
Probably not, because the first one gave me motion sickness.
Okay. Wabba.
Yeah, depending on the price point, I'm sure I could save up for it, but
I'm gonna go out on a
I like
limb
it.
here and say $3.99 US, $4.99 Canadian.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go out. What was the last one? I think it was $3.99, wasn't it?
I don't know. My I was very fortunate that a very long time gaming friend of mine, he actually got a pre-order one and he couldn't use it, and he sent it to me.
Jesus. Well,
I
we
still
don't
dog
know
him.
when
He's a man.
these go on pre-order. I think I'm going to buy it solely because my wife really wanted an Oculus, and my biggest problem was that it didn't. My wife, it doesn't. At first, it has Facebook, and I want nothing to do with that. And then second, it doesn't go with any of my Xbox or my PlayStation. It doesn't transfer over. At least if I got the PlayStation VR, I can get trophies.
Also,
That's
to
really good.
confirm, $3.99 for PSVR. The
first one?
original, the first
so
one.
I was right. So I wouldn't see maybe $4.29 at the most. I wouldn't see it being that much more.
Yeah, no, I think I don't think that's unreasonable. I know it's like people go, oh, it's almost the price of the console. It is, but this thing is like, it's so tough to describe to someone who hasn't played like the first VR of this, because it's not just VR. It's I don't know. It's really good.
And Oculus is $3.99. So if you're Sony, you don't want to go over.
No,
No, definitely not.
especially since there's no camera in this too. It shouldn't cost more. Well, I'm not gonna say that because the parts are more, but
Yeah, I would say $3.99 is probably the price point you're looking at. I think that's fair.
yeah.
But
So, I don't
definitely not more than a console
Hey,
itself.
and you can also, for the people that have gone out there, there's going to be Horizon Forbidden West VR experience. Speaking of which, somebody's been playing that game.
I wonder who that would be.
I wish it was me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077. I'm enjoying some of it. But when I'm done that, I was planning on possibly playing for Horizon. But I would like to know your thoughts on it. I know you haven't finished it, Wabba, but
Mhm.
you seem to not want to put this game down.
No, I love it, and I don't play a lot of open world games. I mean, I have a lot of them. I just don't play them because it's a large time commitment. And I usually get lost. I don't like having a lot of freedom in games. I like it more linear, and this is a good balance between you have your mission and you have other stuff to do. It's really good. So, I love the first one. I played a while ago. I believe I got the platinum in it. I did. I don't believe. Um, and getting involved in this, like immediately, like it introduces you to people who you know. And I went back and watched a recap, and I got all caught up. And it starts to show you like what happens, like the whatever high level, no spoilers, whatever threat is, or there's a new threat out there, and you have to go into this more tribal California area, um, and it's totally different than what you know. And it's an interesting story because you're everybody knows who you are in the first one. You're like this famous like red hair girl, like that's what they call you. And now it's like you go to people who don't care about you. So you're taken out of this world where you're like the hero, and now you're just someone else who nobody cares about. And I thought that was a really interesting dynamic. Um, the game looks amazing. Granted, I don't have that sweet, sexy monitor that Core talks about. I'm hopefully getting one this weekend. But it looks great. It feels good. I'm using it in uh not I think performance mode. No, I don't care about the FPS. I care about the graphics. I'm using
What?
that now.
Hold on.
Hold on, let me double check that.
Wabba, you don't even have a 4K monitor, so why wouldn't you care about the FPS?
Don't know.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I want to look nice.
But your monitor sucks, so it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Matters to me.
Okay. Question for you. I heard that the cutscenes are almost like crazy how good they look. Like I've that you've never seen cutscenes look so good.
The characters look great. I mean, so the animations too, like someone pointed out, like you can see like the reflection off people's eyeballs. Like these characters, I don't like. What do I
Imagine
describe it
you had
as?
a 4K monitor that did 120 frames per second.
I'm hoping I might be able to get one soon. I'm gonna buy my brother-in-law's old Alienware monitor. But like I'm trying to figure out like what studio does this? Because sometimes like, oh, it's realistic, and then you get LA Noir, and other times it's like, oh, like now you have like Last of Us faces, and like it's so good. It's like all these players, no one looks like has like dead eyes or anything. They all look like people, and they're all like none of them look like generic. I mean, yeah, you have like the non playable NPC faces, but they're very varied. But each character with a name looks super different, and I love it.
It's actually hilarious because I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now, and everybody's like, "Oh, it looks great! It looks great!" And then I see people screenshots of Horizon, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say no, no, it's not as good as the Horizon cutscenes."
Visually, it's very good, and the gameplay so far. So with the PS, I don't usually use like the haptic trigger thing. It gives you resistance, but for a bow, it makes perfect sense. So as you aim the bow and draw it back, there's a lag time because she's not Legolas. Fine,
Ooh,
it does
makes me want to
pull
play
down
so
a little
bad.
bit, and it's really cool. And there's two different there's a bunch of different bows. One's actually a sharpshooter bow, and you have to draw it back even farther, and you feel that difference, and it's really cool. I've turned this off for every other game. I love it for this. Um, yeah, I mean it's excellent so far.
How's the
Um,
combat?
so I know a lot of people always say the bow's great, the melee's not. They added different skill trees this time, and you can like upgrade to different like melee combos. The melee's not like super into it, but that's not why you play this damn game. Um, I mean the bow's really good. Um, you know, and what I like about Horizon is when it drops you in the beginning, and the last one felt this way too. You're weak, you suck. Even against humans, they all have armor. But then there are these like robots walking around, and there are some. If you fight this thing, you die. You're not powerful enough.
I heard there's a lot of bosses. I mean, a lot of monsters. They can one shot you. But here's my one problem, and it's a video game trope. Can someone explain to me why every single time our character that is super duper powerful has amnesia or whatever it is, and all of a sudden becomes a pipsqueak and can't handle anything?
I can. So in this specifically,
Mm-hmm.
can I talk about armor in Horizon? Does that the first one? That game's
I
old.
think you can. I think it's
All right,
allowed.
so there's like an end game armor that you can get. It's optional by collecting everything, and it looks super futuristic. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It's all powered up. The armor that you start with, it notes that this armor is using traces of that, but it ran out of power, so it's not what it was. Pretty much.
Okay,
I'm
regardless, but
paraphrasing it.
you had all these weapons and all that, and I know you don't have them again.
Um,
Mm.
I'm trying to think.
No, every video game does it, but it's just one of those
That
things that
one's
always
fair.
bothers me. Like, for example, I just went through and played all the Tomb Raiders again, and I'm just like, how does Lara Croft just all of a sudden have amnesia every single time? You're like, you know what, that thing that skill that I had before, I'm gonna have to learn how to silently assassinate someone again because I don't remember. For
I
some reason,
forgot. I
I
forgot how to do that.
I forgot.
I
I
think,
am
yeah,
no.
I think your spear was damaged in the first one, but in terms of like the skills, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um,
Bit weird. But how's the combat feel?
yeah,
Is it easy to get back into? Because I
it,
remember when I tried to get into Frozen Wilds, I was like, oof, oof.
it's definitely tough in the beginning. But also too what they've done, especially with like the plat. So the combat, I think it takes some getting used to, but they have a mission where they kind of hold your hand. An intro mission. But it helps with the story, so it's not like a boring one. It's not like Call of Duty. You go up to a branch and it's like press circle to crouch. It's like, yeah, no kidding, dude. I've been playing these since I was in diapers. But Horizon, I think it does a great job where it's like, this is how you do this. This is how you sneak, and you don't have to approach it that way. If you remember, do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't force you to do one thing over the
This
other.
is how we do it.
And also climbing too.
This is
I
how
would
we
say
do it.
that's improved. So, I don't remember how the first one did, but like in this one, if you're climbing up a wall, you can like do that, or you can like press a button that like Batman echoes. Like how Arkham it would like echo out a little bit. It shows you where to grip the wall.
He's speaking my language, Pez. He just said Batman.
Gotcha.
Dude, I knew
Yeah.
you would understand that. But
Gotcha.
yeah, so I think it's cool. So you know like what's climbable and what's not, and it's not Uncharted where like there's some parts where it's like you get yellow bar, which means climb on this thing. It's you know, some are like that, but not all of them. So it's I know one of the challenges when I like would play Assassin's Creed is like you go up a cliff and then you hit a button and then it kicks you off and you die. I haven't had that in here with the climbing.
Which
Um,
so I know you haven't finished it. You're
Yep.
probably what, halfway through the game?
Not quite. I finished the first section. There's stuff I need to go back to. I'm now in like a second section that is like a no man's land, and now like God, what am I? Maybe like 2 major story missions in, and I'm
Well,
playing
okay.
for like I don't even know. Maybe let's call it 10 hours. I don't know if that's accurate. I'm not tracking it. Um, but it's good. And there's another small thing in Horizon that I love, and I'm gonna make a video for this on youtube.com/3dads and a console. There's a small board game that you can play in it called oh god, Machine Strike. Basically, it's like Advance Wars, but in Horizon, is you have different pieces that do different things. You have different type of terrains. It's turn based, and you attack things. Um, I love it. I love it so much. Where I hope they release a spin off of it, like hey, they did what was that Uncharted card game for Vita.
Oh, it's
RIP.
also, and then they also had Gwent for.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The
it's a
Witcher.
Gwent mechanic.
But you want to hear something? It's probably a bad take. When they have these type of things, Assassin's Creed Valhalla had it. The Witcher had it. I can't stand the little card games in the games. Drives
But
me
you
nuts.
just don't like those.
Because
Same.
it's 100%. And then when they add achievements or trophies towards it, I'm just like, you son of a gun.
There are some. The first one is very easy to finish. Like you don't. They want you to get that trophy. Or maybe you try it and you're like, man, this sucks. It stinks. Well,
Yeah,
then
and I
that's
heard there's
just-
only one missable trophy, by the way. So just to give yourself, there's one missable. The rest of them you should just get.
I have to look that one up. But yeah, it's cool when they add stuff like that, and I love it so much. And again, because it's turn-based grid combat. Oh no, you know that's my jam. But Horizon, I recommend. Please get it if you can. But before you do it, if you don't have to replay Horizon. That's too much to ask for. Watch a video. There are some out there that are an hour and 20 minutes long. If you want to get real into the lore, and the lore is super important. Or if you just want a 20-minute overview, like watch something, because again, people show up from the last one. That's just, because the world is so big, you might run into someone and want to be like, oh, like I get that, or like I want to remember why this story matters. Immediately in the first, obviously it's a story-based game. They hit you with the story, they hit you with lore, and if you don't remember what happened, or if you didn't even play the last one, you're gonna be like, I don't care. So like Pez, who hasn't
Or
finished the
can't
first one,
finish it. Well, he can't.
yeah, just go watch a video. Um,
Done.
it's really important.
I need to get those 25 hours back.
I would watch the hour one for you since you didn't finish the game. But if you did finish it, just watch a 20-minute recap. Or
If I
don't,
watch
I'm
the
not
hour
your dad.
one, can I put it towards my game time so people will leave me alone that I haven't played enough?
I'm
of
not.
it?
I don't care what you play anymore. I've gotten to the point where it don't matter to me what you play because wow.
I'm a lost hope. I'm a lost cause, and you know what? It's fine.
It's all right. But yeah, Horizon, good. That's obviously not a shocker to anyone. But the next game that is
Oof.
slated to be good.
You want to talk about good? Let's talk about a 97 Metacritic for Elden
Oh.
Ring. Sheesh. All right.
It is unreal.
So-
Guys, take us home.
So, everyone listening knows how the three of us feel about Souls-like games. We're not a fan of them. Not a fan of them. And I'm not here to try to sway anyone about Elden Ring, because guess what? I don't even know if I'm going to play it. And I've been debating if I do play it, it's going to be like newbie plays Elden Ring and just like gets destroyed. Because I tried Bloodborne, it took an hour and a half, and I thought I was going to throw my PS4 controller out the window. It was terrible experience. But
I returned that game within 7 hours of playing it
oh my gosh,
to GameStop. Can they get you get your money back? I was like, you're out.
It's not a game for me. But what I wanted to bring up is, if you've been on Twitter, you know the controversy now with From Software games. They do not like accessibility in their games at all. They are like Dark Souls 1 through 3, Sekiro, like you are going to have a miserable time and you are going to love doing it. Like this is truly a masochist style of games, right? How do you guys feel about that? And do you feel, so two-parter. One, how do you feel about lack of accessibility in video games? I think I know everyone's answer. But two, do you feel that this is a trend that'll end at some point? So, Court, kick us off.
So I I do. I also hope the trend of if I see one more person compare any game to Breath of the Wild, I think I might throw up. Because right away they're all like, "Oh, this is better open world than Breath of the Wild," and I'm just like, "Dude, it's like seriously, can someone get another comparison? Like, just compare it to a movie for God's sakes. I don't care anymore. Like, just stop, just stop."
Hey,
But
hey, when Breath of the Wild is the best open world, what are you gonna do?
fair enough. But still, it's just come on now. It's getting old. But I used to think, you know what, the artists can do what they want. But a listener of this show, and I had him on Xbox A. His name's Marcus McCracken. He's legally blind, and he was explaining to me that he tries playing games on normal, and sometimes he needs accessibility features. And from what I understand with From Software, they don't have them, so they don't make games for everyone. And that's my only issue. If you're gonna make a game, you should be making it for everyone. I know Xbox prides themselves on making accessibility features, and I know, heck, Naughty Dog makes some of the best accessibility features in video games. But to my understanding, Elden Ring's accessibility, I'm looking it up right now, has 5 reasons Elden Ring is the easiest Souls game to get into. Okay, so some people are saying it's hard to get stuck, um, but you still can't change the difficulty level. Like it's really frustrating because when you think about it, if the artist wants it, that's fine. That's their opinion. But I truly believe that you're losing out on a lot of people if you don't let them to change it to easy, because some people just like the story. Some people don't have time. The people always talk about these From Software games having the lore. I wouldn't know. Like and honestly, say get good. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not good at video games anymore. I really am not. Like 100%, I'm not good at video games anymore. But I would love to try this game. And Antonio, friend of the show, he's debating whether to force me to play this game. So that would be fun, I guess. See how bad I get the little get the living daylights out of me. I'm looking it up here and I see that it does not have no mentions anywhere. It has no map fragment, no map markers. Yeah, there's little to no accessibility features in this game. And that's a shame because that takes out a lot of gamers that can't play this game. That's my take. I just think all games there should be a standard for accessibility features in a game. And I think Naughty Dog started this standard. And another example, I was told that it's in our comments. Marcus was talking about NHL had 0 accessibility features, but Madden did. So that sucks, man. Like everybody should get to play the game they want to play. And it has nothing to do with your skill level. It has everything to do with, some people can't do certain things and we should accommodate them. Like us as players when we were playing Last of Us and Uncharted, I know Wabba, you turned the accessibility feature on to see things so you could get trophies. I did the exact same thing. But some people have to turn that on just to be able to play the game. You know what I mean? And I think that developers should start taking account. I think there should be a standard that you have to have these certain accessibility features in the game to even release on their consoles. And that's up to PlayStation and Xbox to do that. That's my opinion.
Wabba.
I think old me would have said as long as everyone can enjoy the game, like if there's a skill gap, that's okay. But after like meeting and like talking to like a lot of people, like doing this and like through Twitch and like, I don't have the same situation that other folks have. So like again, I'm gonna use the high level, like, like some games have like a colorblind mode. And I know there's many different types of, accessibility needs out there. I'm just using this one for sake
Yeah,
of example.
and they're not just easy mode. We're not just talking about
Exactly.
easy mode. There's a lot of accessibility features that.
I'm just using that because it makes my point easier, but like I just want people to know like we recognize that's not the only one. But like if someone is colorblind and the game doesn't have that, like they can't, it's not about being good at or not at games. It's they can't enjoy the experience the way that they need to in order to play the game. So it's not a matter of like I'm good at video games or I can, play Dark Souls game. It's like I can't consume it properly or the way that I need to. So the fact that these, Xbox making default and like, again, that's just one example. So I would hope that these companies would put these, things into place that allow people to play. Now, whether or not you have like a difficulty setting, I think that's a different matter. If someone has a vision that this game is going to be hard and it's going to kick you in the butt, then I think there's a argument to be made that think that's your vision. But if someone can't even get to the point of I have everything that I need to be able to play, I think that's my issue when developers choose not to. So I think everybody should be able to get to the same spot of being able to play, and then like if there's a difficulty thing, I think that's separate, but at least getting to the plate I think is important.
Just looking through Steve Saylor's tweets right now because I know he did a whole thing on Elden Ring and all the Soulsborne people like attacked him today.
Yep.
Because that's what they do,
Yep.
unfortunately, and that's not just them. A lot of gamers do that.
Yep.
And again, color blindness is on what, like, obviously there are people with other ones. Like I think that all controllers should be button map, but that's a whole separate issue.
So he's talking about he's asking for accessibility features, and I guess he got attacked for asking that.
Like-
and he's saying this accessibility is far more than throwing an easy mode in. That's not what we want. We want barriers to be removed so that those of us who want the challenging experience can still. That's pretty much what you said. I know, Wabba.
I'm happy. It means I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it can
what
still have the challenging experience without the disability getting in the way. I was hoping that maybe Elden Ring would be the change and help push the accessibility conversation forward, but I fear it will only stir up more hate and push accessibility for everyone will get down or drowned out again. And that's why I came to it's going to take PlayStation and Xbox to say, hey, you can't put your game on our console unless you do A, B, and C. They don't let people put games on unless there's trophies or achievements. They don't look. Xbox makes you do trophy tracking. There's all these things that they make them do, but this one they don't, and they need to start doing it. And it has nothing to do with the Dark Soul games and all that. It has to do with every game. The fact that NHL 22 doesn't have it, but Madden does. Why would EA do it in one and not the other? You know what I mean? Every single game that is new and coming out should have accessibility features built in. It should just be a standard. A standard in video games.
Because I mean, if we're gonna have video game spokesman A be up at an awards, right, and be like, "Oh my God, video games are for everybody." It's like, well, no, it's not. Like it is reminiscent of the NHL being like, "Hockey's for everybody," right? And then they make a post of like an LGBTQ post or whatever, and then the comments are just a dumpster fire, right? Like, no, it's not for everyone. Okay, you don't come to me and tell me games are for everyone, and then you release what could be the game of the year this year in Elden Ring, and people can't play it. Or people try to play it and they get frustrated because whatever, maybe their disabilities holding them back, whatever. And then the response from the community of Elden Ring is, "Oh, get good at the game." Well, maybe I can't get good in the game because I can't function that way to, make certain movements because my hands don't work that way. Like, if we're gonna be on this boat of like, hey, video games are for fun and video games are for everyone, then you know what? Make them fun for everyone. Don't just make them for your hardcore fan base who's gonna love it, but then, and this isn't. I don't want this to be an attack on the Elden Ring community because every community does
very
this.
general, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, and we're not just talking about easy mode because a perfect example of a game that did that gives you the punishing combat would be Jedi Fallen Order and gives you an easy mode, but that doesn't have all the accessibility features. We want to drive home that we're saying that every game, regardless, like NHL, every game should have a standard of accessibility features built into their games so that, as Pez said, everyone can play. Everyone. You get a standard. There should be accessibility standards, just like they have every standard that goes into a game. And those are the standards. And those checkboxes have to go clink, 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 clink. It doesn't take away from the game.
Nope.
It doesn't do anything. It just makes it so that everyone can play the game. So that like one of the I remember which was revolutionary when Last of Us 2 did that infrared mode. Now, when I talked to Marcus about that, that didn't help him. But I know Steve Saylor, when he was talking about that game, that helped him. So there's a difference, right? So you know what? Maybe we can have a different discussion, and we'll have my friend Marcus on, and he can talk about accessibility and explain here's the things that because he's an advocate of it, and here's the things that each game should have so that you can so everybody can play the game, whether you have your disability is vision or whether your disability is in your hand. There's many different types of disabilities, and all of them should be covered in video games. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I think Naughty Dog in that sense is like the gold standard of what should happen. Like, because I'm gonna take I'm gonna randomly say Dying Light 2, right? Like, if Dying Light 2 had this infrared feature and Wabba used it and I was playing and I didn't use it, that doesn't make the experience different. My experience different because Wabba used it. Like, it doesn't matter. And I think that's the point to drive home is it doesn't matter. Like, if there are accessibility features in a game, it's not going to hurt your enjoyment of the game. And if there is an easy mode in games, it's not going to hurt your enjoyment of the game. Because guess what? I played Jedi Fallen Order on the story mode and then hard mode. I'm on like my third playthrough and I just went into easy mode because I was like, I just want to enjoy myself.
I played it on easy mode right from the beginning. And guess what? Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And the thing
But
is,
like we said, we're not talking easy mode. We're talking everything mode.
And, you know, I think games standard should be, you know, color blindness modes, things like that. And as people have said in our YouTube comments, the fact that NHL doesn't have it is very disappointing. And I get why EA wouldn't put money into that team because it's a smaller title compared to FIFA and Madden, but it's not an excuse. Like,
aren't they all? Correct me if I'm wrong. They're all running the same engine, correct?
I don't think so. I don't know what engine NHL 22 is running on.
It's on the new engine. It was the first.
It's on the Frostbite engine?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So they're all running on the same engine. So guess what? No excuse.
So now you have no excuse, right? Because now it's just like you're all on Frostbite. First off, sports games should not be on a shooter engine, but that's a different conversation for a different time.
So with all that being said about Elden Ring, are you guys gonna play it? Like, is that a game for you?
Only if Antonio buys it for me, like he said, to force me to play it on stream. Sure. Otherwise, no.
So
and it's nothing against the game. The game looks beautiful. It looks like Lord of the Rings type lore that I love. It's just not a game for me. I know it's just gonna frustrate me. That's all.
So I'm debating on buying it.
It seems like a U game, Pez. That's
couple reasons. One, I love Monster Hunter, so like to be like, oh, I hate this game but love Monster Hunter feels kind of hypocritical of me, but it is.
Yeah, because you don't like Horizon, which is literally a Monster Hunter.
I didn't think of that. I guess so.
I mean, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
It really is.
Yeah,
It has no cats, no palicos.
There's no giant swords and stuff like you have. No, there isn't those. You're right.
But also, part of me is like, I wonder if I can play this game and do like a true newbie picks up Elden Ring and see how it goes. You know, and honestly, maybe make a YouTube series of it and just chronicle either my frustrations or how much maybe I love the game. I don't know. But it's a
or you can play Resident Evil in VR.
Oh man, I'll throw up everywhere.
Yeah, come on. That's
fun fact, I did play Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that is one of the games that made me sick because I looked down at my player's feet and I got vertigo from it. It was weird.
Okay, so Antonio, I know you listen to every episode. If you buy it, I will play it, but also I would rather you buy and force Wabba to play Resident Evil in VR.
Oh man, just get him to play Resident Evil 8 on stream. Actually, if I had to pick, I'd want Wabba to play 7 because 7 has
it's way scarier. When you walk out of the house, I'd want him just to play the demo because I thought the demo was scarier than the game itself.
The VR demo I couldn't do.
The demo, because at the very end when you walk out of the house, Pez, and you know what happens.
Oh man,
I just want Wabba to do that so he pees himself.
You know, games I don't like scary. Like I do like scary games, but they scare the crap out of me. Like I loved Resident Evil 7. I love Phasmophobia. scary games are great. I'm just such a scaredy cat when it comes to those games.
Well, the good news is Pez is going to play a non-scary game on Sunday.
Not this Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. I, ladies and gentlemen, will be playing Peppa Pig.
Let's go!
Honestly, you'll probably be able to finish it in stream. Wabba, have you got the plot yet?
I'm not.
I'm surprised. It's a 4-hour plot.
Well, here's my daughter recently wanted to start watching Peppa Pig.
Ooh,
So I
you
think her
can play.
friends
Daddy
had been here,
Pig.
and that show actually slaps. Like that
It
show is
does.
actually funny. I wouldn't say
It's a
it's
good
not better
show.
than Bluey, but
Oh,
it's
no.
in the same vein. Like
Well,
I was
Blue-
watching it, and there was like a family on vacation. They're like, "Oh man, look, a lizard! We have to be quiet as to not scare him." And Peppa's family comes flying in on a plane that they're doing on vacation, and just meow right into the sand, and like the thing scatters, and like the family's just looking like, "What the like, bro?"
Well, Peppa's a bit loud,
Oh, I won't.
and she doesn't have her listening ears on a lot. But nothing can beat Bluey because Bandit is like super dad, and he puts us all dads to shame. Like he is our idol. If we could have a 3 dads and a console flag, it would just be a flag with Bandit on it, and we worship to the Bandit. But Peppa, my daughter loves. She extremely loved that game. There's a section where you can go ice skating, and there's skiing, and she just did that over and over and over again. I would recommend you playing the game, Waba, and just letting your daughter watch, because it is literally like you're watching the TV show, yet you're playing it.
I will do that.
It looks the exact same.
I'm in. I mean, that game already so like once I played PJ Masks from Outright, like I'm in on everything they make.
Oh
I
yeah,
might
they
not
got
be
a
this graphic, but they're so good.
the new Ryan platformer game. I'm excited to have my daughter play that because I'm trying to get her into platformers. And now that they have this, because she's been playing all their racing games and really liking them, but now they have this Ryan's Play. Honestly, I gotta look up the name of it, but it's a platformer,
Ryan's
which
got
I'm
the
excited
bag.
about.
That dude has toys in Target.
And don't worry, people, we will announce the winner of. We are giving away a free copy.
Yes. So
we'll
Outright
do-
Games has provided us with a free copy of the PS5 version of Peppa Pig, and we will give that away right now. So let's see who is gonna take this home.
I
It is
hear that
going
Peppa
to be-
Pig is a little tougher than Elden Ring. So if you couldn't finish Elden Ring, you might not be able to finish Peppa.
You better get
You know,
good.
Honestly,
You better get good when you're jumping through the muddy puddles. And we once again, before we give this away, would like to thank Outright Games for their continued support of 3 dads and a console. So if you, I'll point to the camera, if you want to check out our reviews of games, you can check out Court's Daddy and Me reviews of a couple of their games with him and his daughter, or our impressions video of Peppa Pig, Alex in the Blaze Machines, right? That's the name
Alex,
of it?
no, Blaze.
Alex in the Monster Plays in the Monster Machine. Sorry, I don't. My youngest is 10, so I'm sorry. And
also-
and PJ Mask.
And also, if you have Xbox Game Pass, a bunch of those games are now on Game Pass, which is unbelievable, including Paw Patrol. So check it out. Transformers Battleground is also on there. Ben Power Trip, I believe, is the other one that's on there. There's a couple games on there, which is awesome.
And so bringing home the code from our friends over at Outright Games is Metroidvania.
Let's
One of our new followers and
go!
subscribers to the channel. So Matt, we will be reaching out to you. Thank you so much for your
Congratulations.
support. Congrats and enjoy the game, my guy.
That's
Also, can I tell you a story about Bandit in Bluey? My wife went to my mother-in-law's house and she was watching my 3-year-old and they were watching Bluey. And she was like, "Oh, we're watching some show named Bluey." And I texted her back, #Team Bandit. And she goes, "How do you know anything about Bluey?" And I was like, "Court and Wabba. I know every between Court and Wabba and TikTok. I know everything about Bluey."
I mean,
Let's
there
go.
are worse shows to watch. That's not one of them.
No, not at all.
Could be watching Vampirina.
You could be watching Teen Beach Movie 2, which is what my 10-year-old is now obsessed with. And
To
it's
the streets?
terrible. Yeah, Teen Beach to the ocean.
Okay, I want to give it to Matt because he has Batman in his profile photo on Twitter, and so I appreciate that.
You got it.
'cause,
Good,
I
because he's
have
getting
no-
it, whether you wanted him to get it or not.
No, not that I don't know. him.
Where's Peppa Pig?
That is awesome. He's got
Where's
muddy puddles.
Where's Daddy Pig?
Oh my god.
Where is he?
You think Mud is your ally?
Oh man,
Why would you jump in a puddle before hanging out in the rain?
That was very good.
That
I've been
was
practicing.
very
My
good.
wife hates it. Why would you shoot a man before throwing himself out of a plane? I messed up my words because I was laughing, but
That is
you get the
really
deal. I'm
good.
basically banned. Thank you. Thank you.
Honestly,
I'm on Cameo. If you look up Wabba Bane,
Yeah.
I'll do a cameo for you guys. I'm not actually, but if enough people want.
Did he just put up a name that I actually liked, Wabba Bane?
Wabba Bane?
Yes.
I love it.
Bro, see you, Wabba.
The city. There's gonna be people
Oh,
listening to it be
man.
like, dude, this impression sucks. And
Yeah, this impression is horrible. Click.
I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. If they didn't like it, please leave us 5 stars on Spotify and tell us you don't like it. It's fine.
Hey, outright, if you end up doing a Batman game, I'll
There you
do
go.
it for free. There you go. You get the licensing right to Bane. I just want a credit and I want
Wow.
retweet. So there you go.
Wow. All right, that's huge because Wabba sells out for everything. So the fact that he was just like, I'll do it for free, man, you are legit making inroads with Wabba Plays.
You're losing money not doing that, but so yeah. Again, thank you to Outright.
Thank you so much, Outright Games.
Yeah, you guys
No.
are awesome.
Watching if you guys like, make sure to go to Pez's stream when he plays it because it's gonna be like, so his kids never watched it. Everyone knows about it, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be
dope.
silly, and the game is silly. So
It's gonna be great. Maybe I'll get like a pig costume to wear while I do it.
gosh, dude.
Maybe I can find a
Going
Peppa
to-
Pig costume.
Matthew, I'm sending you your code as we speak.
Maybe I can.
That's how I roll.
Wow, that's
Got-
fast.
Maybe I'll buy a Peppa Pig costume. I'm gonna find one. I'm doing it.
Gosh, that would be so good. Can you make a Peppa Pig emote just for that stream?
Yeah,
Like a follower emote?
of course I can.
Let's go.
I'll make a bunch of them. Dude, it's gonna be great.
Everyone's gonna be like,
Twitch.tv/Pizel56, by the way.
Everyone's gonna be like, where'd your emotes go? You'll be like, Peppa Pig game day, baby.
I'll be like, it's
Peppa
time.
Pig game
It's time to get oinky, baby. Let's go.
Okay, that's a perma emote. Let's get oinky.
Oh yeah, honestly, I have to agree with Wabba. That's gotta
Oh
be Eddie.
man,
That's a good one.
it's an
Anything
oinktastic
else?
voyage, baby.
Anything else you guys want to make sure we share before we close out the episode?
No, I mean Call of Duty got delayed, but who cares?
Yeah, and also Wabba actually, honestly, I want to congratulate Wabba today. He actually pulled cards.
Bro,
I did.
Wabba's polls were out of control.
I was
only pull
actually
purples.
I was impressed today with your pulls. You didn't get your Gretzky. And for the 400th time, Gretzky and Lemieux, if I see one more person in your chat get excited when it says like one All-Star game appearance and all that, you're like, still Gretzky, please stop. Just-
No, I live to entertain, and if my pain, my demise causes people joy, so it is written, so it shall be.
One Vezina
that being
trophy.
said-
A guy in chat's like, "Oh my God, it's Gretzky." It's like, no.
That being said, yeah, it's like Norris winner. It's like okay.
Well, no, Pez got it right. It was hilarious. Pez gets Al
nailed.
McInnes before it was even finished because he's smart. That's why.
In 3 or
Big
4
Al.
days, I'm gonna have another icon choice pack, so my heart can be broken then. But, yeah, I think that's all we got today. So, folks, again, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe us on YouTube at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole. Again, follow us on Twitter at 3dadspod.
Yes.
Because sometimes we do giveaways just like this. And if you want to win a game, either for you or your kids, or maybe you know somebody with kids who might like these games, or if you're like me and play PJ Masks by yourself unironically, like these are good games for you. Or, maybe we'll do more giveaways in the future. Hint, hint, that you might enjoy. Make sure-
100%. Oh, and happy birthday to our buddy King Lime.
Let's go, King Lime! Happy birthday!
Yo, happy birthday line, baby. Also, while you're at youtube.com/3dads.console, check out my new review of Kana Bridge of Spirits. Easily my contender for Game of the Year, by the way.
Wow. Better than Elden Ring. Calling it now.
We'll find out.
It looks better than Elden Ring. I think I'm gonna get that game so I can play with my daughter after Pez's recommendation.
You should. You know what? So very quickly on the recommendation, I know number one, Pez doesn't do scores. You want to know why? Because if everything's a 10, nothing's a 10.
Pick it
Okay.
and stick it, fools.
That's right. And people get all bent out of shape when something's a 7. But honestly, like if you're supposed to grade something from 1 to 10, a 5 should be average. Right? But people get all bent out of shape. Oh my God, it's a 7. Boo. It's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with that. The recommendation is, is this game worth your time as a gaming parent who doesn't have time? And then B, is this game safe for you to play during the day and have your kids watch? That isn't weighted as heavily in my recommendation. Like, obviously, I'm going to have fun with it. But I've already had a few people say, like, you know what, that's a great idea. Because, you know, my buddy was telling me once he was playing Resident Evil 3. And his kid came downstairs and, like, you know, kid is 3-4 years old. And he just, like, snuck downstairs. And he was, like, watching him play it. And, like, ran away when, like, Nemesis came out, you know? So it's like...
You can have an age. Like, you know, they could probably watch Uncharted if they're, like, 7 and up.
Yeah. But
like... If my daughter's around, I just play NHL.
Yeah.
And you know what? I play around her.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, perfect for any age. Cute game. It's a very fun game. Check out the review. Let me know. I'll take all feedback. You can even tell me I suck. You wouldn't be the first. I did run a Bruins blog. I can handle it. Okay. And then just enjoy. We're going to be putting out more content than just the podcast. I'm telling you guys.
Matthew has gotten his code, and he says his daughter is going to love it, which makes me happy.
Awesome.
That makes me happy. That's awesome.
So expect a lot more. Expect a lot more from your dads in 2022.
100%.
Let's go.
Maybe even a PAX live stream. Ooh.
Oh my God.
I won't be there, but yeah, I can via satellite with you too.
Yeah, if we do that, it's gonna be on your phone because I don't got that unlimited Pez. So
I got you, baby. Don't
there
worry.
we go.
Wow, I thought everybody in the U.S. had unlimited. Well, Wabba, who are we kidding?
Shocker.
I don't even know why I had to say that.
Dial up AOL free trials, my guy. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Thank you for being here. Again, make sure to follow us on the YouTube. Check us out. Rate us on Spotify. It helps us out, and it's totally free 99. And we'll talk to you in the next one. Take care, everyone.